because it's about building relationships, and we're all business owners here. And I think one of the biggest challenges is owners of businesses and people who operate within the economy is, what do we choose to participate in? What do we choose to believe in? I mean, because whatever you focus on in life, you get. I mean, you've all heard this, right? If you focus on what you want, you get it. You focus on what you don't want, you also get that. See, that's a double bind we're not sure. If you focus on what you don't want in life, you'll get that. And it's not because you're trying to sabotage yourself, because of how the brain works. People often ask me, I talk to people, I say, well, no, I'm not into rah-rah, I'm not into pump you up, I'm not into the mystics or anything of that nature. What we are in is mechanics. There's mechanics of why we do what we do. And that's a prime example. Because our brain does not work in abstract or unconscious mind. It cannot compute a negative thought. So if I said, think of the dog not chasing the cat. To get that picture in your head, what you have to do is see the dog chasing the cat and then stop it. Okay, so when you tell yourself, I don't want to fail, I don't want to, I hope I don't get rejected, I don't, your brain has to see yourself getting caught up in failure and then maybe finding a way out, maybe not, but it was already done, it's burned in your brain of you not being successful. So it's a baseball hitter going up to the plate saying, I hope I don't strike out, I don't want to strike out, I don't want to strike out. But every time he says that, what does he see in his head? Yep, and that's burned in. So it either becomes a zero sum or it balances out. That's why it's so hard. So we got to stay focused on what we want. So to do that, we have to control our focus. The quality of your life is the quality of your ability to manage what you focus on. Because there's evidence for everything. A friend of mine, we were talking, she's in real estate. She was saying how her friends say to her, why are you in real estate? An awful time. She goes, what do you mean? Everyone I know is having record sales. Okay? We're doing very well. Most of the businesses that I work with are, I'm trying to go through them in my head, there are, one is to have their best quarter ever, into their best, one of their best years ever, okay, in a down economy. A dental practice is holding their own, which is in dental is pretty darn good. It's not something people rush out to do, especially things like Invisalign or elective out-of-pocket procedures. So a lot of the businesses I work with are growing, and I think there's a common thread there. It's what do you focus on? Because there's evidence to say the environment the economy is awful, or the economy can produce and sustain. But whatever you seek, whatever belief structure that you look through, you're going to find evidence to support it, because that's how our brain works. If you think there's no jobs out there, that you can never change, your brain goes, okay, let me find evidence to support that belief. But if you focus on what you want, and it doesn't mean you walk around saying, I'm happy, I'm good, everything's going to work out, and be stuck in a crowd, because that's not going to help you either. You have to kind of see the challenge for what it is, but then say, okay, what's on the other side of that? What options or solutions can I focus on? What opportunities are there? Am I not seeing? Or what opportunities can I create? And even in the worst case scenarios, there's always a level of what I would call gravity, because we live in one of two worlds. We live in a world of abundance. The world of abundance says all that I need is within me. I know it sounds very mantra-like, but it's true. Abundance says, truly, my needs are self-contained, not my wants. Okay, you want your own business. You don't need your own business. You really don't. See, we get hooked when we take a one. Think about this, guys. And actually, I can say, think about this, guys, and be correct today, right? But think about this. A want, desire, yes? A want is a desire. A need is life or death. Okay, now we have needs. We have physical needs: air, water, food, sleep. Without them, we what? We die. Okay? We have emotional needs too. We have a need for certainty and love and connection and security and growth and contribution. Without them, we also die emotionally. So when we have something in life that is a want, but we make it into a need, now it goes from desire to life or death, and now it's an absolute positive need. And we take that, and that's not in our control. What is that? It's a recipe for what? Disaster, absolutely. Yeah, the challenge is keep your wants, and own your needs. See, all your needs come from within. You might get that intellectually. My goal is to help to bring it down here a little bit, at least open the pathways, like, hey, I never thought that way. Because what we need is a very few things. You may not have what you need the way you want it. You may not have the love from someone that you want love. Or you may not have the job that you want, which is not under your control, under your influence, but not under your control. But that doesn't mean that you don't have success, you don't have happiness, you don't have love, you don't have joy. And as corny as it sounds, it's the Wizard of Oz. They went through all these trials and tribulations just to realize the very thing they all looked for was already within them. And then you operate from a place of abundance, and it doesn't make life perfect, doesn't make life, nothing bothers you, because we're human beings. But what it does do is put you in a situation where you're not needy. You're not operating from a position of fear. See, the challenge with most business today, they operate from a position of fear, not power. See, anybody can feel good when money's coming in. Anyone can walk around with their chest out and say, yes, I am successful. But are you a leader, are you successful when times are tough? That is the measure of truly a leader, whether a business leader or a leader in a community or a leader in a household, of how they rise up. Because the law of scarcity says, I need X to feel Y. I need a job to feel like a man. I need finances to feel like I'm successful. Yeah, we want finances, we want to grow, don't get me wrong. But certain things must be delegated as wants. And the things that mean the most to us, we have to find a way to meet them internally. If not, we're always going to be coming from a position of weakness, never a position of strength. Or if we actually get what we want, then we're always going to be fearful of losing it or having it taken away. So it's like, I finally get the girl of my dreams, and you know what? Some jerk is going to come take her away. Or I finally got the business that I want, and I might lose it. What if, what if, what if? And we end up making our world smaller and smaller and smaller so we can feel more certain about where we're at. And you heard me say this before, one way or the other, if you know me, we don't grow through certainty. We only grow through uncertainty. See, certainty gives us security, and security is nice. Boy, we're wired interesting, aren't we? What we crave the most more than anything else is a feeling of certainty. Whether it's Maslow or whoever you kind of delegate that with, we want to make sure that we can provide the food, the water, all that basic stuff. And so certainty and security is not bad, but what does it keep us from?